Hey everybody, I'm Shane Ireland. Welcome to another episode of Tasting Notes. Autumn is upon us. We are getting into the cooler months. I think a lot of people get excited about this time of year. The weather's cooling off. We're getting pretty close to Halloween. Pumpkin spice is coming back. But around here, there's a different reason that we get very excited about this time of year, and that is Cornell Diehl's Carolina Red Flake. So, today, I am very fortunate to be able to get my first taste of Carolina Red Flake 2024. I just popped this tin. I'm smoking it as fresh as possible. Part of that is because, unlike a lot of the other blends that I'm trying for the first time, I have been a huge fan of Carolina Red Flake since the original release, and I've tried all of them, of course, and cellared quite a few of them as well along the way. So every year I'm excited to see basically what this year's batch looks like, and we have a couple of tweaks that Jeremy made that I'm particularly excited about. I'll get into those in just a second. Cornell Diehl's small batch Carolina Red Flake is basically a love letter and a tribute to the Old Belt Virginia grades that are produced in the U.S. still, like they have been for a very, very long time, and the highest quality grades in leaf that you can find in the Old Belt. Let's see real quick before I talk about the grades this year. Oh man, as soon as you pop the tin, it's the very, very familiar sort of sweet and tangy and lightly grassy aroma. It has everything that a Virginia guy's looking for. I will say that, obviously a straight Virginia like this isn't gonna have like really, really crazy notes, particularly in the tin note, but yeah, malty, slightly sweet, a little bit of tang. Very, very, very promising, considering this is like the kind of stuff I smoke 90% of the time. All right, as usual, Carolina Red Flake, really, really lovely broken flakes. Kind of a lot of different colors in here and a lot of different shades. I mean, we have some lighter leaf, some like what looks like medium sort of orange leaf, a few darker flecks, really, really nice. And yeah, I love the cut on this. It's really, really easy to deal with. Rubs out and loads really well in a variety of chamber sizes. Now, I do personally recommend smoking Carolina Red Flake in like sort of a medium-sized pipe. I have found that over the years, this is basically like a group 4 or so. And I have found that over the years that I really do like giving this blend in particular a chance to evolve and a chance to, sort of the flavors come together and deepen throughout the smoke. Right off the bat, I get the very, very comforting and very, very familiar high quality Virginia notes. I mean, I'm getting like the malty character, a little bit of that tanginess, plenty of natural sweetness, something a little deeper too. I mean, this one, considering how fresh this tin is, and that it's basically the beginning of the bowl for me. I've got through my charring light and a little bit beyond that. Yeah, the sweetness that's developed already is kind of crazy. It's also much more rich at this stage in the bowl than I can remember previous editions being. Normally when I start to get those really sweet, like baked good notes, I've already smoked through about a third of the bowl, maybe even more than half. And this kind of starts off that way. Yeah, like powdered sugar sort of sweetness. Man, that is crazy. Even this early on in the bowl, I am also getting some nice warming spices, particularly in the retrohale. This is just an extremely comforting blend, especially for this time of year. And I find that this is one of those Virginias, year in, year out, no matter what Jeremy does with the recipe, it always has that really nice sweet spot between being really, really straightforward and easy to enjoy and really comforting, but having enough intrigue and enough complexity that you kind of want to keep coming back to it over and over again. It's really remarkable how much sweetness is coming through basically in the first like quarter of the bowl. Typically I expect the sweetness and the richness to develop as the smoke progresses with a blend like this, but this one's really, really powerful right from jump. And there's a reason for that, I think. So this year, in addition to some TA 2022 Virginias with 13.53% sugar and some TBFO 19 crop year 2019 with 10% sugar, which are some grades that we've seen before from Jeremy and crew, the addition of some GAJRL 19, which is 2019 crop year red Virginia grades from Georgia. Those red Virginias are 17.72% sugar. Now that's not a crazy amount of sugar. It's certainly not the highest we've ever seen, but this particular leaf, you might recall me mentioning before, because I think it made its debut, I think it made its debut last year in the first edition of Cornell Diehl Small Batch Steamworks. And this was a tobacco that really, really surprised me. And I talked to Jeremy after I had tried Steamworks the first time, and I was able to actually smoke some of the components straight as well. The sugar is not as high as, for example, some of the grades of bright leaf that Jeremy's been able to source in the past couple years. However, the perceived sweetness feels even more pronounced than like some of the highest sugar content Virginias I've ever tried. Like you get this, like I said, almost powdered sugar kind of sweetness, and beneath that there's a little bit of tanginess and a little bit of maltiness, but you have almost none of the sort of citrus character that I think I typically associate with some of the sweeter Virginia grades. So yeah, when I saw that we were adding that Georgia leaf from 2019 at 17.73% sugar to Carolina Red Flake this year, I was like, oh man, this is really, really gonna be special. And again, everything that I have tried with that Georgian leaf in it over the past year has blown me away. Today I'm smoking Carolina Red Flake 2024 in one of my favorite Virginia pipes. This is a Lavad by J. Allen. It's one of the pipes I reach for the most, and I think the perfect size for a flake like this. Getting a little bit more into the bowl, I'm getting a lot more bready character. Like I've said this before, but some of these red Virginia grades give me like kind of a sourdough bread kind of a vibe, and that is definitely coming through now. The sweetness and the richness is amping up a whole lot. Just a touch of warming spices on the palate and through the retrohale, and you can probably tell, but this is throwing off a ton of smoke. Lots of smoke volume, very, very dense on the palate. This is a medium Virginia that I think is an all-day smoke, but it does have, in my opinion, just a hair over medium plus body. Yeah, it's remarkable what sort of technically a single component blend can be with just a couple of different really, really nice grades. So, congratulations to everybody. We made it all the way to autumn again, Carolina Red Flake season. If you've never had a chance to try it, this is a great place to start. If you've been following the Carolina Red Flake saga for many years, like most of us have, this is not one to be missed. A really, really nice twist on a blend that's already pretty much everybody's favorite. See you guys next time.